This one's called City Walk Up Revisited. And you'll notice that I'm repeating the end lines, light, morning, dawn, here. City Walk Up Revisited, 4 after Carolyn Frichet. From darkness and into a great light. Rochester, New York, frost's morning. I dreamt my Caribbean past, but dawn came always and unbidden. What I knew was frozen water. Home was a dim light. Up in the cold, a shower before dawn. I waited one last minute to start morning. School dismissed all that I knew. Before this city, I'd known light. When night came, I wished for dawn. I walked my loss morning to morning. A step after each step was all I knew. The second poem is called The Tree of Paradise, and it's a quote from Chaucer. One of the other themes in the book is Middle English and Modern English are a Romance language, Norman French grafted into a Germanic language. So I'm playing with the idea of me speaking a Romance tongue Spanish coming into and learning a Germanic tongue. So I'm using a lot of quotes from Shakespeare, Middle English, and Shakespeare, and stuff like that. This is about my sister's Christmas wish that she wanted a dollhouse. She was 6 years younger than I was. That Christmas, we grafted ourselves into a new country. A tree, ornaments, wrapped parcels, if few. I helped our mother assemble your dollhouse while you slept. And I had grown. No elves, no list, no godly children. I was not godly at 14. My body asking what I felt ashamed to give, but gave. With your gift, I could be generous and clean. You got your house I built, and lies, or almost truths, words that weren't home. How our breath shone on rented windows, how the low clouds promised snow. In the morning, you accepted our gift, pretended you had not heard us, who had not kept your night silent at all. The snowfall froze. We baptized each other with ice rocks. It's true, our first playing in snow in the backyard, we erroneously threw ice at each other, not knowing, I'd be a nice person to matter. There's a poem about us as well. It's called Guariv. It's an old Spanish word. It's got a component in English. It's called guarish, to guarish, and the poem defines it. In guarded Spanish, we greet our bruises. Place hands on the hurting places, or the places that cry, which may not be flesh. All pains, old words. They brood like maggots in our DNA, and so they are. They keep the edges clean, drain pus, cover like scabs our new world with familiar conjugations, to guard, to heal. Our first house here had radiators. They did not work. They did not burn us. This we learned they could later, long after long shivering. We moved to Jacksonville, Florida in 1983. My poor mother could only handle 3 years in Rochester. And this poem is from my sister, Elizabeth. The first part is 8555 Hurlum Road. That's over by Normandy Boulevard, kind of heading west, it's a Hurlum Field, near Hurlum Field. When we settled in Saturiwa land, I did not know they had died here. By a World War II airfield that taught pilots to kill or die trying. I didn't know their names, innocence of children and the ignorant. Stars paraded by night, satellites sped by, and I thought them marvels. Marvel of flintlock, cap-lock cartridge, the rocket's red glare. Our parents killed to feed us. We ate daily. Children who knew nothing of the terrors visited on others. Chicks with open mouths who didn't care how the flesh they swallowed had lived and had perished. Parents and stars looked over us, and so we lived. Parrots and stars is a better line, but it doesn't work. 5720 Wilson Boulevard, that's off Landing Boulevard, and Wilson right there. A flood. Your dog had to be let go. It barked like thunder. It leaked our roof. We were wet pups. You can only keep so many. In the ark, even or odd numbers, the versions change. That day, we saved each other drowning, let the poor dog sink. We had no food to give him, sent him back to airlock death. We lived, as live we must. Sister, beloved, when we saw the arcing light break through clouds and rain, we were alive, as others weren't. They would have carried on as we have carried. There is life to be lived while there is life. Survivor's guilt. That's not in the poem, I'm just commenting. This is Jacksonville Part 2 for Melinda, my wife. I'm sorry I'm laying down such sad poems, you know. Towards the end, they get happier. Not happier, but they get more opera. Jacksonville, Florida. Everybody here knows what a DNC is? During a pregnancy, a DNC? 3125 Riverside Avenue. Both abortions of the dead, politely DNCs. A cleansing of the rot poisoning you. Beings we'd colluded into being. The first a boy, the second a girl, known only from their cells we had scraped to know. When they wheeled you back, I inhaled your scent and knew you were among the living. A few days later, 9/11. We watched on screens clearer than sonograms. Some jumped to death, some exhaled their last breath in smoke. I held you, and all I cared for could not be ripped from me. Not yet. So many suffered so much more. Now, what we did could be a crime I'd dare again to keep you. We're heading back to the theme of language and playing with it. It's a form of therapy. It's called Who is Andres? What is Andres? From The Gentleman of Verona. To die is to be banished from myself. Let my tongue speak of new things. What am I become? Who I was but did not know. Whom I knew but could not name. A green couch where far worse horrors sat. Questions like blazes in a trail. I swallow my name, can't stomach it. I want peace, but not my end. Let us begin. A fan overhead turning like myself. Shoes I shine like living stars each morning before I reach the sun. Each Monday I sit here week to week. Each morning I am still right here. I like shiny shoes. This is called You Ghost. No, don't worry, we only have 4 more to go. This is called You Ghosts. Carry on in your own tongue. No one believes you, not even each other. I clean your stains until I can't see them. The rest remains to feed what feeds it. Yesterday obfuscated, so will tomorrow. What stains you left stare to my face and lie. An overcast remains after it's rained. Dogs bark as trains keep rumbling. In another life, I heard you lie. In another life, it mattered. The next one was called Time. It was the first poem I wrote after the pandemic broke sometime in March, and I wasn't writing very much. I wrote this around December. So this is actually the first poem that no, I didn't write it. It was in fragments, and then I put it together after the pandemic. Time for logs photosol to green again. Time for the wild sunflowers to tilt towards the daily star. For the bobcat's ears to lean into what's coming. Though not what off, hunters too sense to be wary. For the does to fear what their foremothers feared, even in its absence. We understand need, not explanations. Or we flee without knowing what we hunger for, like breath. Time for everything that lives to live, not away from, but towards. Two more to go. This one's called St. John's. It's got an epigraph. Abnon Rivers, of course, lands from Venus. It's a formal poem, so it rhymes. I warn you now. In honor of his style, which was a formal, brilliant, metric style. St. John's, Abnon Rivers. Rise with every storm and praise, Mother Water's cradle song, Hualaca, Maize Banks, San Juan. Praise for those burdened but strong, who held like reeds and who grew roots fierce as silt-merged currents, sediments layered but true as our children and our parents. So many years and we're here. From callus and blood, we're here. Hope laughs, a light against fear. Joy weeps, a refuge from fear. St. John's, course your red lights grow. We live, we love, and we grow. And the last one is called A Day in the Life. There's approximately 8 billion people in the planet today. A day in the life. I drive my mannequin to this doctor. Sign releases. Wait. Barrett's esophagus. The answer is still no. Outside, most ignore him. A few note his stoops. Grateful to those waitstaff who act kindly, I dip them well on his behalf. Always aware, so few have raised their hands against him. So many ways a mannequin can be hurt. When he is silent, I call him wise. When he isn't spiteful, I call him not unkind. The day is full of mirrors, full of my mannequin. And sometimes it's all as shining as of 8 billion suns. Thank you very much.